Hello and welcome to Encore, the show that takes a second look at some of the people using their time and talents to help the students of St. Bernard Parish. Joining us today is a beautiful and talented young lady, a stage veteran, and a choreographer of stage combat, Miss Shelley Rucker. Shelley, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you in the parish, and I know this isn't your first visit here. You've been here a lot. But before we get into that, talk a little bit about your theatrical background and how you got into theater.
Well, my very first show was 6th grade in elementary school, but then I continued. I got my undergraduate in theater from Mercer University in Macon, Georgia, and I'm originally from Georgia. And then I worked professionally in Atlanta for about 2 years after that, and then I went back to grad school at University of Southern Mississippi in Hattiesburg. And then I moved here and have been working here for about a year now. So.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about what theater means to you. Like, why did you pursue it so avidly, and what is it that speaks to you about theater?
I kind of joke and say that theater is my church a little bit, not in the sense that I worship it in some way, but the sense that, learning about different stories and about different people and seeing, lives through that telescope or that lens of the theater, and being empathetic and learning, it's a way of learning, I think, and hearing, learning about different experiences through telling a story, and that's beautiful to me. So.
And as you were starting out in your career as an actress, what would be some advice that you would give to people in high school who are thinking about pursuing it like you have?
Audition, audition, audition. No matter if you're getting paid or not, just audition. Every experience has a learning experience, and you will obviously meet somebody that could later come back and be a part of your life. I just recently, actually, my 6th grade teacher found out that she's from New Orleans, and everybody was talking about her, and I was like, that sounds like my 6th grade teacher, and it's a small world, and it was her, so we're all connected.
So, and theater is not only something that you enjoy passionately, but it's also something that you're sharing with other people as part of your career. Talk a little bit about your gig at Tulane and the work that you're doing there now.
Well, I'm an adjunct faculty there. I am teaching 2 classes, the fundamentals of acting. It's for non-majors, but it's a way of introducing theater to people who might not have experienced it or maybe had a little experience in high school, and just kind of getting them to explore new ways of expressing themselves, physically or vocally and emotionally and all that stuff. And the students are always really pleased with it afterwards. They're always like weirded out when I make them do crazy games and stuff at the beginning, but at the end of it, they understand the method to the madness. So.
There you go. A little Shakespeare quote along
Exactly.
the way. Good for you. And I teach the theater class here at the high school, and I know a lot of these kids aren't going to go on to become professional actors or actresses, but talk about some of the benefits of being involved in theater just outside of being on stage.
I think it's a sense of community, absolutely. Everybody has a job, and they're all working towards the same goal. I think theater can sometimes get a bad rep for having like egomaniacs working in it, but at the end of the day, everybody's really happy with the product and really proud of their work, no matter if they're, the props master or the lead in the show or the director. Everybody comes together for one goal, and I think that's a beautiful thing. And it can certainly be applied, to later jobs, even if you're working in a lawyer's office or a doctor's office or something, but everybody has their job, and it's all very important.
And confidence in being in front of people.
Absolutely,
helps the cause as well, too.
Sure.
And talk a little bit about your upcoming productions that you're going to be involved in. I know that you are, part of a dynamic duo at Rivertown. So talk a little bit about that life there.
Well, the next show that I'm in is Gypsy, and it opens this Friday, and it runs for the next 3 weekends. I'm playing Electra, a scandalous lady who lights up on the stage. So, but it's really cute and very tasteful. And then after that, we open Patchwork Players, which is an ongoing, I think, New Orleans tradition of children's theater. This summer, we're doing Snow White and Rumpelstiltskin. So,
well, sounds like an exciting time. Well, speaking of excitement, let's talk about how did you get into stage combat as a beautiful young woman like yourself? How did stage combat become part of your arsenal?
It kind of fell into my lap. I mean, as an actor, you have to be open to learning all kinds of new skills. And my senior year of my undergraduate degree, we brought in a new teacher. His name was Scott Mann, and he was this fight director, and we were all like, what is this, you know, and I was really good at it. And so, you know, and it takes a certain skill to be aggressive but careful with the work, because, you know, the most important thing about stage combat is safety. It looks really aggressive, but it's actually very, very safe. And, you know, we watch out for our partners, and I think it takes a special touch. So I somehow have it. So after that, I got really into it, and I studied with the Society of American Fight Directors and continued with the Dueling Arts International organizations, and so now I'm a proficient actor combatant in 4 weapons. So
nice.
Thank you.
And that talent and skill also led you here to Shellman High School as we were preparing for the Three Musketeers, because, you know, the show is chock full of combat, and I'm sure there's not a lot of people on staff who have that experience. So talk a little bit about how you got hooked up to be here, and then about the experience once you did get here.
I think Tom Kikuyo, or Roy, contacted my husband, Gary Rucker, who is also director at Rivertown, and they said they needed a fight director, and so they called me up, and I showed up, and the kids were a little bit worried, or scared, but they did it beautifully. They did a great job.
So when you're introducing this craft to them, when you're kind of, because it was a lot of fighting going on and stuff, so I know you were here a lot of the time. So talk a little bit about, like, maybe the sequencing of, you know, what you're teaching them, and, you know, how you get them ready for the stage.
Well, especially with sword work, it's such a foreign concept to us. Nobody fights with swords anymore unless they do fencing or something like that.
Or me at Mardi Gras.
Yeah,
but, you know, but that's another whole story.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally. It's such a foreign concept, so I really start. The biggest thing is discipline. I didn't even let them hold the weapons for about 2 weeks, I think. We were playing with sticks for a while, and getting them in their bodies, and so it didn't feel like such a foreign concept to have something extending from their arm and also not, you know, dragging the blade in front of their partner's face or anything like that. I make them very, like, aware of their bodies first, and I do a lot of drilling with them and footwork and parrying, which means, like, blocking the blade when it comes in, and cuts, and I just drilled it into their bodies. And so by the time they actually held the weapons, it was a very smooth transition, which was nice. So.
And how long of a period, or how many hours do you think you put in with them to get them from playing with sticks to going up and down stairwells and fighting and getting it all together?
It was about 50 or 60 hours. So, but they worked hard, and I know that they rehearsed when I wasn't here, which was also very helpful. And I had 2 very helpful fight captains, Milan and Josh, and they kept everybody on track. So it was good. So.
Well, good. Well, look, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to see some of the action of the Three Musketeers now. When we come back, I think Shelley's going to show us some of the moves. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Do the same thing, and you're going to aim at his pocket, but you have to give him a lot of space. Take a big step out for me. There you go. Like
so after I go like this, how do I come back?
You're gonna turn and parry 2. Alright, here we go. So it's boom, go for me. Boom, and then you're stepping. Like take a big step with the other foot. Boom, and then we do it again. One more time. Good. And then you're gonna step. Do that. Got it. Okay. So make contact. Go to the cut and the parry. Go, go, go. Head cut. Boom, and back him up, Porthos.
Got this, bro.
Dude, it's cool. Like, blah, blah, blah.
Look out, it's a trap. No, move now. Hold the backs. Go on, get out of it.
But 4 to 1.
Yes, but the question is whether anyone wins. Get out of it.
Oh my God!
Watch out!
Rosebud.
Wait.
What? You have to fight to get you let go.
Let's turn play.
Made you work.
Watch out! Stay.
Hi, my name is Shelley Rucker, and I was the fight director for Three Musketeers Today I'm going to be teaching you a couple stage combat moves. And remember, kids, don't try this at home, but without a supervisor. Today I have Milan Holman. He was one of my fight captains for Three Musketeers, and we are going to be demonstrating a small fight phrase. So today, the first thing that we're going to learn is a stage slap. You never want to do a contact slap unless you really have to, but there's generally so many other ways to slap somebody on stage. So today I'm going to teach you a pretty easy one. I call it the karate chop slap. So what we're going to do is Milan is going to be my partner, and I'm going to say hi, Milan.
Hi.
And Milan is my partner, and we are going to make eye contact. The first thing about stage combat is you want to make eye contact with your partner and make sure that they're ready. So I'm going to make eye contact with my partner, and I'm going to give him a good prep. So the prep is going to be this. Hi, friend.
Hi.
So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend my hand over his shoulder, almost like I'm karate chopping a parrot on his shoulder. And I'm also going to pretend like I have water on my fingers, and I'm just going to try to flick it off, right? So right now I'm showing you the side that the audience doesn't see. So what I'm going to do with Milan, make eye contact, give him a good prep so he knows that it's coming. And the audience knows that it's coming too. So I'm going to give him a prep, and he's not going to react right now. I'm just going to practice my slap. So good prep and karate chop and back. But now I'm going to do a follow through. Also, a good way to kind of sell it as if I was going to slap him like this is to turn my hand. So, and a good way to keep distance is just keeping my hand on his shoulder, just so he doesn't get too far away, so I don't have to chase the target. But he's not going to go anywhere right now. So I'm going to give him a good prep, and I'm going to extend it, and then the follow through is going to go across his face, almost kind of like I'm closing a door, right? So I'm just going to practice my slap a couple times, and Milan is going to pay attention to when my hand is kind of in between the point of extending across his shoulder and flicking in front of his nose. That's what he's going to pay attention to, because he needs to pay attention to timing. So eye contact, prep, action, and then he's going to give a reaction. But he's not going to do it yet because he's still working out the timing. So I'm going to go really slow at first, and then we'll pick up the speed. You ready? Okay, so. And a good thing to do is breathe as well. So here we go. You got it? All right. So now Milan is going to do what I call a slip nap. A nap is what you hear. It's something that the audience hears to think that we actually made contact, right? So what he's going to do is he's going to practice his slip nap. And so the idea of a slip nap is to go kind of, you slip it. It's not like this, because the audience could see that, right? So if I do it this way, the audience doesn't really see it coming. And it happens so fast that their ear is actually going to catch up with what they think they saw, right? So it's kind of like magic, right? So, so just kind of keep your hands ready, and just practice a nap a few times. There you go. Just get a nice sound. Yeah, good. And practice. Think about your hand as a drum, and these are kind of the drumsticks, and this is the drum like head. So, yeah. Just practice it a few times. Yeah, good. All right. So we're gonna go really slow, just so we can get the timing. It might not work this time, but we'll just keep practicing. So that's why we rehearse. Yay. All right, so eye contact, prep, action, reaction. There you go. Yeah, so we'll just keep kind of running it. Ready? Here we go. And good. 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 Don't anticipate. That's okay. There you go. Now you're going to turn your head. So when you kind of are hitting it, you're also turning your head, right? So don't oversell. So just kind of turn your head, and we'll just keep running it, and then we'll get it bigger. So here we go. Ready? Yeah. Good. Don't anticipate. Good. Good. Keep your hands kind of straight like this. All right, here we go. You ready? A little too early. Just wait a half a beat later. Okay. Here we go. Ready? Good. Can you make a little bit more of a sound? There you go. Ready? Here we go. Good. Now you get to make a vocal. So, but it needs to happen after the nap. So, because you don't want it to overlap. So the audience wants to hear the hit and then ow, right? So not ow, hit, or anything like that. So So just practice. You don't have to be like, ah, or anything. Just kind of, ow, or something like that. Yeah. All right, here we go. Ready? Good. Good. All right, ready? Good. Good. So now we're going to turn it this way. We're going to keep it the exact same, but this is what the audience sees. So they can't really see that I'm missing. And this actually kind of works on the round as well. And then when we move, we're going to rotate it so the audience can't really see where it's coming from, right? It's still a magic trick, if you will. So, ready? Good. Keep your hands like this. There you go. Ready? Good. So, it sells pretty nicely. And it's a pretty hard hit. You want to think about body types when you're doing this. I'm a little bit shorter than Milan, and Milan's taller, but I'm also a little bit stockier than him. So this is a pretty hard hit for him. But he's a tough guy. He can take it, right? So try to sell it and try to match the energy. So does that make sense? So here we go. Ready? So you can kind of sell it a little bit more. Ready? Good. Maybe take like a stumble after you do it and touch your face where I hit you, right? Like, how could you do that to me? So ready? Here we go. And thank you. Good. Take a little bit more of a stumble, like maybe I got your ear and maybe hit some inner, some balance stuff or something like that.
Hit by the sword.
Yeah, totally. All right, here we go. Ready? Good. A little bit more of a stumble. So, kind of like a skip or something. Ready? Here we go. Good. Very good. Okay. So now we're going to rotate it, and we're going to do it on the rotation. It works really well in the round or even in proscenium, because when the momentum of the fight is going, you won't really necessarily see his hands ready for the nap. We're just doing this for practice. So we're going to do it this way. We'll try it both ways and see which one works better. So, and you don't necessarily come in and be like, hi, friend, slap, right? You have to be coming from something, and maybe, you took my peanut butter, you took my chocolate. So we're going to come in and we're going to fight. We're going to fight over peanut butter or chocolate. So I'm going to come in, and to establish distance, I'm going to maybe grab his shoulders like I did with this one, but I'm going to grab them both. And I'm going to just start turning him. And then when he sees this prep coming, he's ready. Boom. Right? So we're going to go on the circle again. And as it starts picking up pace, it'll sell better. So you want to try it again? All right. And we might try circling it differently and see which one works better. So you stole my peanut butter.
I did not.
Okay. Grrr, and boom. Good. So he anticipated just a little bit there, but that's okay. It's all about timing, right? So eye contact will help that. So let's try it from this side and see which one works better. So here we go. Ready? You stole my chocolate.
I did not.
Grrr, boom. Good. All right. So don't forget your vocal too. All right. Let's try it from this side again. So here we go. Peanut butter, chocolate, grrr. Oh, sorry, got you a little bit. I just moved his hair, so don't use that one. Okay. So that's kind of how you do a slap. So the next thing we're going to learn is a contact punch. So it's a little weary, but we're going to practice it, and we're going to build it, and it's going to be very safe. So the thing about a contact punch, so I slapped him, so now he's going to punch me. And yeah, so the thing about a fight is it always builds, right? You don't come in and just start beating somebody, right? Or like punching somebody. It probably starts with a shove or a slap or something, right? And then it builds, right? So the next thing, so I just slapped him, and he's mad at me. So he's going to get me back, right? So he's going to come in, and he's going to establish distance, so touch my shoulder. And so he's pretty tall. He's got long arms, right? So you might want to take just a step in. We're going to stack our feet to keep distance. And I'm going to, just to make sure like I know where he is, I'm going to establish distance too, or maybe, oh gosh, here he comes, right? But I'm just going to make sure that I know where he is too. He is going to make a Tootsie Roll fist. So it's almost like I'm holding a Tootsie Roll in my fist, right? So make a Tootsie Roll fist. Good. Make sure your thumb is laying across like that. Good. And I am just going to place his fist where I want him to punch me. So try to can you turn it? I don't want your knuckles to go into me. So yeah, keep it flat. And I'm going to place it where I want him to hit me, right? I'm actually going to tuck in my shirt here so he can have a better target. So right there on the line. So I'm going to put it right there, and he's going to look at that target, right? Because if he floats up and hits me in the sternum, then I can't breathe, and that's sad days for me. So he's going to place it, and he is going to keep his eyes on that target. So keep your eyes on the target, and you're just going to just slightly pull back and just give me a little punch. Good. So make sure you pop it off a little bit. So kind of pop. Boom. Pop it more. Pop it. Like, but boom.
Okay.
Yeah, ready? Go ahead. Good. And he's going to say, can I punch you harder?
Can I punch you harder?
Yes. Good.
Can I
Keep
punch
it
you harder?
a little bit lower. Keep your eyes on the target. Yes, you can. Good. Pop it.
Harder.
Yes. Good. All right. That's about as hard as I want him to hit me. So, but it also makes a nice sound, too. It makes its own nap, so we don't have to play the magic trick here. When he pops it off, that is actually the energy from my body, like kind of slapping off of his knuckles, right? So we're just going to practice it a few times. Just remember that energy, look at your target, and just punch me a few times. Good.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm. Good. Good.
Just don't know when to stop.
Okay. Just whenever you feel like you've got it. Good. Okay. So we just, now we're going to have to practice kind of coming into it, right? So I just slapped you, bam, right? And now he's going to come in, and I'm tough girl, and he's going to grab it, look at your target, go slow, and I'm going to sell it. Oh, he just hit me. Oh, gosh, right? The thing about selling, when you make a vocal after you've been hit, it travels, right? So if you get hit in the stomach, it's going to be a lower tone. It's going to be like, right? But if you get anywhere from, anywhere from the center, if you're going up or down on your toe, like if you get hit in the face, it's going to be a higher tone. So, or something. If you get stepped on the foot, right? But if it's in the middle, it's going to make like a oof sound. So he's going to practice walking in again. So I'm tough. I just slapped you. And he's going to establish distance and look at the target. Right? Oh, gosh, you're so strong. Blah. Right? And maybe he's winning. So now we're going to move on to the choke. So that kind of took some wind out of me, right? So I'm going to sell it and be a good actor and be a good partner. And then I'm going to look up, and I'm going to make eye contact with him again. And he's going to come in for the choke. And so a choke is all about magic, again. So what he's going to do is he's going to make a fence with his hands. So he's going to layer almost like kind of make a V like a bird, but then he's going to kind of curl it down like a fence, right? Good. So, and then I'm going to place his hands where I want it to be, where I want him to lay the kind of the fatty part of his hand. I want it to lay right on my collarbone. So it's going to come right in there, right? And he's going to make a fence up. And he's just going to kind of tickle the sides of my neck. So it gives the illusion that he actually has his arms, like his hands wrapped around my neck. But I'm breathing fine. I can walk away if I want. I'm safe, right? And he's not going to hold on to me or anything. I'm actually going to establish the contact here. So I'm going to lay my chin right on top of his thumbs so it looks like he's really choking me, right? I'm also going to pull down and keep his hands in case he gets overzealous and he starts going up into my throat, which he won't. But I'm going to keep his hands low, right? But it also establishes contact and distance and safety for both of us. We're going to make eye contact, and then he is going to kind of send the energy down like this, right? So send it down. So go down, down. Like, nope, you're up. You're taller than me, so you'd actually be selling it down. So kind of like that. Yeah, all right, here we go. So ready? And then I die, right? So, and Milan wins, yay. So, so that's how you sell all of them. So now we're going to put it together in a fight phrase. So we're going to start fighting about chocolate and peanut butter, and then we're going to duke it out. So let's say, and we're going to do all of the steps. We're going to make eye contact. I know that he's ready. He's not over there talking to somebody. And I'm like, right? He's ready, right? Because he's a good partner. So, you stole my chocolate.
I did not.
So we're going to go from the slap. We're just going to go really slow. Grr, 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 boom. So he's mad, and and he's going to come in, go slow. Oh, no. Oh! Right? Oh, my gosh.
Well, I'd like to thank Shelley Rucker for being with us today, and for all of you for tuning in here at Penn TV. And remember, just when you thought there was no more, we'll be back again with another Encore. We'll see you next time.